the side.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about incorporating like the couches, like.
This is exciting for me. I've talked and done interviews a lot, but a lot of times I'm preparing the questions for the reporter, or it's intentional. So this is my first time where I just get to show up and answer. Jazmin Jones is a creative, a mother, a friend, a mentor, a leader, a student of leadership. Yeah, that's who I am. I worked in the nonprofit world for 16 years. I worked for my mom. She has a nonprofit she's been running for 28 years. And I did financial and administrative work. And then now I'm an executive producer.
Okay. So at least putting it in position to see like what works in y'all angling and stuff, at least.
And then whatever section, one of those sections, because my mom right now is coming. So I want to give her her own area because it's her birthday.
She said.
So at my mom's company, I was privileged to be a part of her administration team. So I was able to learn from her firsthand on how she ran her business, and I was able to assist her in doing that. And so she went into like early retirement, and I was able to have a leadership role at her company. So that taught me how to run a business, and it taught me about business. So I've always been a creative all my life. But when God gave me the vision about CC Network, then I just, went into my bag and pulled out the tools that I already had and just kind of made it all work. A lot of strategic planning, finding the right team. But my experience in running business in the past prepared me for what I'm doing today. Yeah, so I had the vision initially in 2021, and then we purchased the studio in 2022. So it comes from understanding what it's like to be a visionary. So, I give a lot of credit to my mom because she really taught me everything I knew. And so I got to actually see her be a visionary. She brought her business 28 years from scratch. And so she was able to see that in her father. This place where we're at now used to be my grandfather's machine shop back in the 70s. And so my mom bought it from her father, and me and my dad bought it from my mom. But it was really understanding vision. When you get a vision, what you have to do. And so when God gave me the vision, he gave me all the steps. I'm not giving any credit to myself. Like, he laid it out. It all came at one time on what I needed to do to get started. So I wrote it all out, came up with like a plan, who I was gonna call to help me put this together. And then day by day, we have a strategic plan. So day by day, we just follow that plan and pivot where we need to pivot. And 3 years later, like, here we are. Really, it all came together, even the name. When I had the vision, he gave me the name. So it was always Community Cultivation Network from the beginning. And what I wanted to do at that time was I wanted to help people cultivate their podcasts. But I knew it was bigger than just podcasts. And I knew the podcast was to help them elevate their brand. And so that's what I felt like we were here to do, and that's what I started doing. I paused my podcast, and I helped 6 other people start their podcast at one time. That's what made it a network. And we just started cross-promoting. We would do promos together, have media days, just figuring it out. And then I'm a student, like I say, a student of leadership, but anything that I put myself in, I'm gonna learn about it. So I started studying everything about media, content, how media could be used to elevate brands. And then as we built the team and just kept refining what we're working on, we came up with the CCN recipe. And that's how we're helping brands today, is through the CCN recipe. Definitely. So it's definitely a lot of personal investment because I 100% believe in the vision. When I got the vision, I knew it was real. And once I decided, okay, I'm going to do this, I was willing to do whatever. So there was a lot of personal sacrifices that I went through for myself, even with my family, with my house. I sold my home. Like, I did whatever it needed to take to get what I needed to do to get this off the ground. So I purchased a lot of this equipment. The people that I had on my team, they would tell me, because media is not my background. So I'm like, what cameras do we need? What mics do we need? And whatever they told me, I trusted them. I would do my research, but I purchased the equipment. And then from there, all the money that we make is going back into the studio so that we can continue to enhance our equipment and continue to provide quality resources to brands.
We have a team and staff of videographers, photographers, editors, marketers, branders. So when you do an event, you have the opportunity to not only have it hosted here, but you can also use some of our accommodations to help market it and create a story out of it, because that's our specialty. All right, so check it out. This is Studio 2. Personally, this is my favorite studio because this is where all the magic happens in terms of productions. We have the Long River session in here. We have the Hard Hitter show. We have ATM. It is the most personable, most intimate space we have here at CCN. I mean, check it out. It's pretty cool, kind of tight knit.
The number one best thing about the studio is the people that's here. We're true cultivators. So when you walk through that door, there's a different feeling that you're gonna get than watching it on social media. I mean, people see it on social media and they say they feel the vibes, but it's nothing in comparison to when they walk through the door, because we're really here to help people grow. But as far as our services, what we realize is media plus events equals community. You know, once I was given the name, I had to go, like, it was kind of backwards. Like, I was given the vision, the name and everything, but I had to go backwards to figure out what it is we're really supposed to be doing. And so through media and events, that's how we help elevate brands. We do your long form content with them. So we do productions like podcasts or documentaries or some type of long form content where people can connect and figure out who they are. And then from there, we do short form content, so we take care of all of their social media content. And then we do events. So that brand is able to bring in the people that's already watching their long form content, already watching their short form content. They can come and actually feel your energy and be in the room with you. We ran the recipe on ourselves, and that's how we grew this big in the 2 years that we actually been in the studio, 3 years in all. But it was from doing the recipe. And once we acknowledged that, then that's what we knew we needed to do to help other brands.
The recipe.
Yes.
Talk about that. I see you.
That's what it is. It's the long form content, the short form content, and events. And at first we were doing it on a community level only. And then we realized, like, this works. This worked on us. So now we have packaging for community level if you're just getting started. We have packages for corporate level, and then we have packages for luxury brands. We can do it on all scales. But this is 3 years worth of working on this product and refining it and making it to what it is now. So now we're happy to call it the recipe. You work at a content, look, I'm telling him the same thing. You work at a content studio.